Good morning. What I propose to show you today is a demonstration showing the advantages and some disadvantages to induction cooking. What we have here is a modern induction hybrid cooktop. This particular one is made by Frigidaire. It has conventional knobs with LED displays, and it has two induction burners and 3 conventional modern radiant burners. I have 2 pots. I've placed the larger pot with a slightly larger volume of water on one of the smaller induction burners, and the smaller of the 2 pots is on the radiant burner. I will turn both of them on at the same time on high settings to let you see some of the differences between radiant cooking, the speed of it, and induction cooking. Without further ado, here we go. First the radiant burner, and then the induction burner. Both pans of water at the same temperature, and similar volume of water, although slightly more in the larger pot on the induction burner. The induction burner is slightly faster, so I gave it more of a load to pull. As you may or may not be able to see, the induction burner already has bubbles forming on the bottom. The radiant burner is getting off to a rather slow start. Might have a little bit of water on the bottom of the pot on the radiant burner, which is why it's bucking around like that. I'm also going, you can see the glow from the radiant burner. There's no glow from the induction burner. And something else that you can do with an induction burner that you wouldn't want to try with a radiant burner is you can put a dollar bill or a piece of paper between the cooktop and the pan on the induction burner, and the paper will not be scorched. All the heat goes to the cooking vessel. Okay. Starting to see a little bit of heat transfer now to the radiant burner. The induction burner, on the other hand, is about to take off and will rapidly come to a full rolling boil. Radiant, induction. Back to our piece of paper. I've used a common paper towel to demonstrate. The radiant burner is still ramping up the heat in the cooking vessel. The induction burner, on the other hand, is already beginning to come to a full boil. And we'll let the radiant burner continue now that the induction burner is at a full boil, here's something else. Those of you who cook with gas will note that the characteristics are very similar. If you turn down the setting on the gas, the heat immediately drops off the cooking vessel. Same with the induction. And you can immediately ramp it right back up. The radiant, on the other hand, takes a little more time to heat up and to cool down. You can very closely regulate the temperature of what you have cooking on the induction unit. You'll notice that there are graduated readouts on the controls, which are incremented. There is a slight bit of noise from the induction unit. If you were to have the hood over the stove turned on with the fan turned on, the noise from the fan would completely drown out the noise from the induction unit. It's very quiet. The noise is noticeable at first, but most times you won't hear it. Okay, now I said earlier that you can put a piece of paper between the cooktop and the cooking vessel, and the paper will not be scorched. And there you have it. Now, one caveat is that with induction is that although it transfers the heat to the cooking vessel directly, you have to remember that the surface itself gets heat transferred back to it by the cooking vessel itself. So it will be hot after you remove the vessel, so you need to be careful. Now, the radiant is at a rolling boil, 3 full minutes after the induction unit, and I will turn it down to half. And as you can see, it takes a little bit longer to react. One advantage to the radiant unit is that you can use any type of cookware that you would use on a conventional stove. The induction unit must use magnetic cookware. In other words, if a magnet will stick to it and it's got a flat bottom, induction will usually work on that particular cooking vessel. Magnet test is a real simple test that I use when I'm shopping for cookware. If a magnet sticks to the bottom of the pan, it's usually induction friendly. Flat bottom is important for even heat distribution for induction cooking. You don't want to have a corrugated bottom or something with a raised center or anything like that, because it will distribute the heat unevenly. Anyway, I hope people out there find this somewhat helpful. Have a good day and better cooking.